SRN News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump appears to be backing away from a commitment to give Ukraine a license to make Patriot interceptors.
We have not agreed to that. We're talking about it. But it's a hard thing to give away that kind of technology.
The president spoke with reporters at his cabinet meeting at Camp David, contradicting an offer he made on the sidelines of the NATO summit.
You give that technology, they can someday turn on you. You know, that is possible.
Trump says he discussed the topic with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at their White House meeting on Tuesday.
I spoke about Patriots. I spoke to him about Tomahawks. Spoke to him about everything. I also spoke to him about let's get this war over with.
Zelensky is also urging U.S. officials to help him get permission to use Elon Musk's Starlink satellites to guide drone strikes inside Russia. I'm Jennifer King.
It's not good news for consumers from U.S. oil producers.
ExxonMobil and Chevron warned that global supplies of diesel and other refined products will likely remain tight and lead to persistently high prices in the second half of the year, as the Iran war continues to cause major energy disruptions. Both companies reported large jumps in second quarter refining profits on Friday as declining fuel stockpiles combined with curtailed exports from China and refinery outages in Russia led to higher margins.
Bill Alexander reporting. The Justice Department has moved to dismiss a criminal case charging a former Olympian with deliberately damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Government lawyers said in a 20-page court filing Friday evening that information provided since the indictment of David Hearn shows that the damage was the result of a flawed installation by the contractor as well as the rush to complete the project prior to events associated with the America 250 celebration. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 276 points, the S&P 500 advanced 52. This is SRN News.
GetTheTea.com and enter discount code USA to get 10% off any size order. That's GetTheTea.com, discount code USA for 10% off your order.
If you don't want to hear real facts on social and political issues, then stop listening now. Otherwise, stay right here for real issues, real facts with real people.
His name is Joe.
Instead of fighting with these people, what I do is I throw stats at them. Let them go with it.
The Adventures of Joe.
But I've actually even got to the point now when somebody starts arguing with me, prove your facts, I go, now.
All right, what do you say, Joe? What do you say to that?
You didn't prove yours. Mine you can find at the CDC or on the FBI website. You need to do your own homework. Because when you spoon feed them, even when you do that, they tell you you're wrong, even though they have nothing to back it up with. Just like AOC, nothing.
I'm going to deal with topics and issues that will make you think. The lines are open. You can reach me at 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563.
It's the Joe Messina Show.
Hey, welcome back to another session of Sanity right here on the Joe Messina Show. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. You know, we're still, do I want to say struggling through? Because I don't want to say that. We're still dealing with the Fauci effect. I don't have any other name for it. Because, I mean, you can't get away from it. It is like no matter what, this guy is God. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in all seriousness. And they're talking about him. The Dems are talking him up. You know, I mean, think of how many people died and how many more people would have died if Fauci didn't do what he did or said what he wanted to do. Don't you find that amazing? I do anyway. I mean, his own notes. Talk about how, this was a farce. Really. And we cut it. It's a farce, right? Anyhow, 855-REAL-JOE. 855-732-5563. Just get involved, get engaged. Write me an email, joe@joemessina.com. joe@joemessina.com. So much appreciate the time that you spend with me. These guys are doing it again. And I'll bring this up when Brad Dacus joins us. But the Obama judge blocks Trump's admin from ending temporary protected status, even though the Supreme Court said, yeah, go with it. It's fine. So a federal judge again on Friday blocked the Trump administration. I would just do it. What are they going to do to him? He's got the approval of the Supreme Court. What are they going to do with him? The termination was supposed to take effect on March 17th. However, a federal judge again previously halted the termination. On Friday, U.S. District Judge Allison Burroughs, an Obama appointee, issued a new administrative stay after the plaintiff filed an amended complaint and an emergency motion. There are more than 100,000 Somalis living in the U.S., and estimated 5,000 Somalis are eligible for temporary protection status. Just amazing. Justice Department responded to the judge's order. Judge Allison Burroughs just entered yet another order preventing the termination of Somalis, right, the TPS. And I love this. There's no serious debate about what's going on in these cases. Defiance, obstruction, and delay. Right? The Homeland Security General Counsel, listen, they're hoping to delay this out long enough to get past the elections because they know they're going to cheat and try to take them away. Last month, the U.S. Supreme Court, they ruled in favor of the Trump administration. They allowed Trump to end the temporary protective status for hundreds of thousands of Haitian Syrians. So what changed? Would now the lower courts actually have more power than the Supreme Court? Apparently, yes. The High Court in a 6-3 vote ruled that the temporary protective status is temporary, period. Last week, U.S. Judge Brian Murphy, a Biden appointee, indefinitely extended a block on the termination of temporary protective status of Ethiopians. So now they're going down the list. In 2022, the Biden regime allowed more than 5,000 Ethiopians to enter the U.S. and live here with special protections. Now that TPS status is temporary. It doesn't get extended over and over and over again. DHS General Counsel James Percival blasted Judge Murphy last week, called his decision a mutiny against the Supreme Court. Seriously. Just amazing to me. Adam Schiff demands AI political parodies be banned. In other words, Adam Schiff doesn't like your freedom of speech, especially when it makes fun of him. He's a piece of work. This guy, he's been lying up just about everything. Everything that comes out of his mouth tends to be a lie. Seriously. He demands AI parodies be banned, forgets that he lied about Trump and called it parody in 2019. It was great, wasn't it? Here's a politician, he's built his whole career on lies, and suddenly he's worried about truth in advertising? Lied about where he lived? Still does. Still got away with it. Lied about what he saw with the Russian dossier? Dossier, whatever. California Senator Adam Schiff, a man with a documented record of deception, he's introduced 2 bills aimed at regulating political speech, including one that would add prohibitions on content generated by artificial intelligence. Right now, he added it to a law that already prohibits campaigns from impersonating their opponents, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Maybe Schiff has forgotten his own past when it comes to impersonations, and he lies behind his attacks on President Trump. And a career of lowlights that would make a masochist blush. He achieved one of the most notorious moments during 2019 hearings that led up to Trump's first impeachment, when the California congressman fabricated quotes from a phone call between Trump and Ukraine. Schiff then defended playing fast and loose with the truth by claiming he was engaging in parody. So reasonable people can disagree about whether Schiff is engaging in political parody or sinking to belly-crawling tactics of lying. And you know what? It's funny because everything they say they want you to believe is gospel truth. Everything we say has to be a lie. Has to be. Be back in a few minutes. Don't go far.
ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, and enter promo code USA, or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com, promo code USA.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
If you're a diabetic, we have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you test and inject daily, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-471-7065. 800-471-7065. 800-471-7065. That's 800-471-7065.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you could save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that trying to name your bike.
How about the Crusher? I guess it's not really crushing anything. The Silver Bolt? No. Oh, what about Pepper? Mysterious. Is it a pet or a condiment? Surprise! It's a motorcycle. No, that's stupid.
Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Okay, I'm talking funny because I'm in the witness protection program. I have too much credit card debt and I don't want people to find me.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about credit card debt. Right, those plastic things that we all have in our wallet. Are you in your 50s or 60s and you're still carrying around a mound of credit card debt? Wouldn't it be nice to start banking that money and save a little money for retirement down the road? We help people restructure their credit card debt all the time. We show people how they can get out of credit card debt in months, not years. Listen, you'll be carrying around credit card debt for the rest of your life unless you deal with it right now. We offer a free consultation so you can learn how you can finally wipe out your credit card debt and start saving money. Give us a free call right now.
Call Debt Solutions Network now. 866-451-3328. 866-451-3328. That's 866-451-3328. Do you have a story to tell? Bring your story to life with audiobooks. Great stories deserve great storytelling. Audiobook Network provides professional voice actors and full production services for every author's manuscript. From narration, production, and editing to distribution, promotion, and sales, Audiobook Network handles everything. If you have a print book, ebook, or even a manuscript, call Audiobook Network now and get our free audiobook guide. 800-734-1229. 800-734-1229.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-362-9337. 800-362-9337. That's 800-362-9337.
You got a love bite on your neck. He's coming back this morning. What's the matter with you? Your life's going down the toilet. Cover up that damn thing. Come on, put some makeup on.
We are back at it again. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged. Be part of the solution. And I really do appreciate the time that you're spending with me here, again, on the air. And you just got to get engaged. Okay, really what it boils down to. You just got to get engaged. Right? There is so much going on out there. So much to take advantage of. So, and I mean it sincerely. We've got story after story after story that you're going to hear. And you'll see some of the stuff. trying to keep it as clean as I can. Right? You're going to see some of the stuff that's going on. You're going to sit there and scratch your head to try to wonder. Right? You know, are we headed to global warfare? And it isn't just us. Remember something. You all want to blame Trump for this, or Republicans, or go for it. Have a ball. The Democrats, their idea of making peace or keeping things peaceful was to give Iran what they wanted. Give them money, and buku money. Not a little bit, but a heck of a lot. Right? Give them money. Let them get away with having nukes. Just kind of leave them alone. You weren't going to appease. Remember, these people... Their ultimate goal is to quote-unquote please Allah, and if that means wiping out 2/3 of the world, that's fine. You know, they get 77 virgins for dying in war. I mean, what's the downside? Some of these guys never, leave their mother's cave. You know what I mean? Seriously. So it's time for this garbage to stop. Look, I know. I was going to fix that other story, but I'm not there. Trump talking to Spain, look at what you're letting happen. You're doing the same thing that we did and should not have done. Have you seen what's going on with the migration or the migrant invasion? And the president, premier, whatever, of Spain is welcoming them in? I mean, you realize from 2021 to 2025, there was almost 9 million border encounters. Right? 9 million border encounters. I mean, these are counted. What about the ones that made it through that we don't know about? And from February 2025 to June 2026, we haven't even hit 200,000 at the border with Trump. Now remember, we were told by the Democrats you needed a whole bunch more money. Boatload of money, right, to shore up the borders. That's what he needed. And what President Trump proved was, no, what you needed was another president who would follow the law and crack down. But the judges aren't letting the hundreds of judges that Obama and Biden put in place at the federal level has done everything they could to keep us from being safe. They don't care. They have a different ideology, and over 80% of them are from another country altogether. How could they possibly know? Why do they care? I mean, why would they care? They get their paycheck. And they're pretty much exempt from getting in trouble. Trump said, don't let our country be destroyed. Vote Republican. Be proud of the U.S. Why should we vote Republican? They ain't doing it either, Trump. Trump wrote on Truth Social after telling Fox News that the U.S. will look like Spain in 3 years. If they won't even take them 3 years. They will rip the Band-Aid off and allow anybody in. You watch. Anyhow, Spain's Interior Ministry estimated that 50,000 people crossed the border since Thursday morning. Video from the invasion on Thursday shows thousands of African migrants, all men, all fighting age men, moving across the border. Right? And you know what's going on? Nothing. I don't know how long it took them to call out their equivalent to the National Guard, their military. Another video shows thousands of invaders lined up at the beach crossing into Spain territory by simply walking around the fence or swimming with no border enforcement. Nobody was there. No Coast Guard, no military, nothing. Now they're defecating in the streets. They're looting stores. They're terrorizing the residents. Isn't that great? This is what people who want a better life do, isn't it? They come over and cause all this havoc. If they were trying to get away from a bad life, they should be kissing the ground when they got there. Right? It's terrible. Trump went on to say, remember that picture? That's going to be us in 3 years if the wrong side gets in. If the Democrats get in, you will not live a very good life. He's right. The Fox and Friends panel went on to compare the border under Biden, where nearly 9 million encounters were reported at the southern border. Seriously. Nearly 9 million encounters are likely less than half of the real number under Biden. Now, Trump also responded on Truth Social, sharing a video of the invasion. He wrote, "What's happening with Spain? Tens of thousands of illegal immigrants invading it, happening in the United States. It was Sleepy Joe allowed all this to happen. And it wasn't just Sleepy Joe, it was the people around him. They knew what he was doing. They knew what was going on. Right? Again, just amazing. Just amazing. I'm watching the video. I can't play it. It's figured, configured all wrong. As one news source reported, European leaders are panicking over the chaos, with Spain's socialist Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez declaring that Spain is under attack. Now, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and even leftist French President Emmanuel Macron are taking action to protect their own borders from Spain's radical open border policy. Right? France is now his Macron. He deploys troops, aircraft, and drones to the border with Spain. He vows to help Socialist Sanchez with the migrant invasion. He's going to help him let him in. He's going to help him and actually stop him. How much action is he willing to take? Where will it stop? Really? Right? I think it's a big deal anyhow. So, and I'm telling you, if it starts to happen again here, I don't even know where we would go. Right? Oh. Somebody emailed joe@joemessina.com. Got something to say? joe@joemessina.com. All right. Yeah, okay. We'll talk about this on the other side of the break. Joe Messina, your host. Don't go far. A lot more coming up in just a few minutes.
Attention homeowners. It's not if something's going to break, it's when. That's homeownership. If your dryer, your refrigerator, or your AC and heating breaks, that's an expensive call. And who do you call? Make it easy on yourself and call Choice Home Warranty. We've already done the research and have access to 25,000 technicians that can be at your home quickly. We've covered close to 2 million homes in the United States. There's a good chance your neighbors work with us. Call us right now before the next breakdown. We'll tell you everything that's covered in your home and give you the first month free with our ironclad 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and learn how to get your free month.
800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. That's 800-378-2250.
Limitations and exclusions apply. First month free with purchase of single plan. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for more details.
Life is full of surprises. Some wonderful, some not so much. But here's one thing you can control: making sure your loved ones are protected if the unexpected happens. At easyplans.com, we make getting life insurance, well, easy. In just a few minutes, you can apply online and buy direct. No awkward phone calls, no confusing jargon, and no agent will contact you unless you request help. Just clear, affordable coverage, designed to fit your life and your budget. Fast approval, flexible plans, and unlike other online insurance sites, Easy Plans won't sell your information to others. So no endless phone calls and text messages. Whether you're just starting a family, buying a home, or thinking ahead, easyplans.com has you covered. easyplans.com. We make buying life insurance, well, easy.
Congress addresses Title IX.
The landmark 1972 law bars discrimination based on sex, but lately transgender people have been trying to use it to allow males into female restrooms, locker rooms, and onto female sports teams. Now Republicans in Congress are moving to address the problem, advancing a bill that would clearly define male and female for purposes of interpreting Title IX. The legislation has reached the House floor. If passed, it would go next to the Senate. Michael Harrington reporting.
The Trump administration is investigating allegations that a high school teacher in the Denver school district required students of the same sex to kiss in front of a class, and a district in Washington state displayed vials of testosterone in an LGBT Pride Month exhibit. The probes will determine whether the districts violated a federal law that gives parents the right to opt out of school evaluations on topics including sex behavior or attitudes. This is SRN News. Markets close out the month on a strong note.
Stocks rallied on Friday to close out a choppy July. The S&P 500 rose 0.7%. The Dow rose 0.5%. The Nasdaq Composite jumped 1%. Amazon surged 15.3% after delivering a stronger profit than analysts expected during its latest quarter. Apple slumped 7.4% after giving investors a disappointing revenue growth forecast. Oil prices rose and added to concerns about inflation. Treasury yields rose in the bond market amid worries about inflation potentially remaining high. Damian Troisi, New York.
New York officials have sued prediction market platform Kalshi for potentially billions of dollars, calling it an illegal, unlicensed gambling operation. More details available at srnnews.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters reporting.
First tank. That's code PHIL25 for 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
Do you know this man?
Go ahead. Make my day.
We're back at it again. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE. 855-732-5560. Look, get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution, right? We want you to be part of the solution. We want you to make a difference, right? Seriously. We want you to make a difference because ultimately the bottom line with all this is that if you're informed, you just might be able to get through to some of these people. All right, this just came in. It's a shameful relic of our Jim Crow past. That's according to Democrat Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger. She restores voting rights for 66,000 felons, interestingly enough, just before the midterms. Isn't that? And let me see, she won't give up the voter rolls. She won't take the people off the voter roll list that have been voting that are here illegally. Now she wants felons to vote. Yeah, nothing to see here. Nothing wrong. Everything's fine. So Democrats gained 66,000 new voters with this move, for sure. Their rights to serve on a jury, run for public office, and become a notary public were also restored under her direction. By giving these Virginians back their ability to make an impact at the local, state, and national levels, we're empowering our neighbors to take hold of their second chance. Virginia is one of the 3 states that strips convicted felons of their rights to vote. One of 3. Spanberger's predecessor, Republican Glenn Youngkin, he rolled back a policy of automatically restoring felons' rights and chose to evaluate applicants on a case-by-case basis. Well, that's not a bad idea. Youngkin had restored the right to vote for about 10,000 felons. They had guidelines to go by. Instead of doing a blanket. Isn't that amazing? This is just so much fun watching this happen and them trying to explain why. The right to vote is foundational to who we are as Americans, she said. She said, as a member of Commerce, a candidate for governor, and in the months since I took office, I've heard from many Virginians, right, from jail, who have shared this personal stories of redemption with me and heartfelt reflections on the moment that their voting rights were restored by previous governor. Now, here's the thing. They did have a right to have their voting rights restored, but it was on a case-by-case basis. What's the big deal? When you do it broad brush like she's doing it, it's a real problem. She says, I'm proud that after contending with my predecessor's efforts to deny Virginians their fundamental rights, well, think about something. Right? People, well, I won't go through the whole thing, but what if you denied somebody of their life rights? What if you denied somebody maybe of their physical rights? They lost an arm or a leg or their vision because of something you did purposely. Now you've served your time and you've got out. Okay, that's great. But what about the person you killed? Right? Or anything else. Maybe somebody stole their money and they lost their house. Why should you have the right? She said, we've restored the rights of more than 66,000 Virginians who have served their time. They deserve a right to use their vote, make their voices heard, and be recognized. I say it again. Do it on a case-by-case basis. It makes much more sense. She further urged voters to vote yes on the constitutional amendment that would automatically restore voting rights to convicted felons upon completing their sentences. She called the practice of stripping voting rights from felons as shameful. Let me tell you what. In our early days of this country, I'm not saying we should go back to it because the felonies have just run rampant now as to what they cover. But in the early days of this country, a felony, you know what the punishment was for a felony? Anybody? Yeah, death. That's right. A felony was a death. You stole somebody's horse. You hung. Really that simple. Not only is Spanberger trying to get as many convicted felon voters as possible, think about this. So you're going to let the felons vote again. You talk about defunding the police. You have judges that won't uphold charges, and even when the people are found guilty by a jury, the judges set aside a decision. Right? You got all this going on. If I'm a criminal, I'm in. Really that simple. Her state's now pausing the removal of non-citizen voters from the voting rolls because it's 90 days before the elections. Unreal, right? According to a Judicial Watch, Virginia canceled 6,500 declared non-citizen voter registrations, but Virginia entered into a settlement with the leftist group to pause the program to remove declared non-citizens. Just crazy. Remove them. If they don't belong there, remove them. What's the problem? So they found 6,500 non-citizens actually registered and voting. They're supposed to take them off the voter rolls, but they made a deal with some organization to stay that because it's so close to election time? Seriously? It never stops. It's hilarious. It never stops. And here's Cory Booker when he was asked today, right, about would the SAVE Act have stopped this Virginia fraud? This is almost funny.
Has the non-citizen situation, the voting in New Jersey, changed your view on the proof of citizenship or the voter ID issue at
you
all?
should always have proof of citizenship for voting, but unfortunately what Donald Trump is pushing is nothing in the SAVE Act would have prevented a clerical error like we've seen in Texas and Oregon and New Jersey. We've got to protect our voting systems. What he's talking about would stop millions of Americans from voting.
Really? So since you're just allowed to check a box that says, yeah, I'm a citizen, I can vote, or automatic motor voter registration, really? You're telling me that this wouldn't have stopped, SAVE Act wouldn't have stopped at all, that they have to prove that they're citizens? You see what they do? And what Trump wants to do is he wants to keep millions of Americans from voting. Not true. If you were born here, you can get a birth certificate here. Right? What's the problem? Not that hard.
And he's the captain of this idea that the guy literally told a Georgia official they should fine 11,000 votes. I mean, talk about voter fraud.
Yeah, they've already discussed that, and that official said there was fraud in Georgia. You won't watch. He won't say anything about that. Listen.
We take this very seriously in New Jersey. People are stepping up. We have a governor that's saying this is unacceptable. We're going to make sure that we get to the bottom of it. People need to be held accountable. The states, as the Constitution says, should handle their voting, and when there's problems or violations of the law, people should be prosecuted. So we're going to handle the problems in New Jersey, but I hate how it's being weaponized by some people to advance schemes that actually would hurt Americans.
Right. Because protecting an American's right to vote actually hurts Americans. And as your people have said so many times, those Dems in and out of your party, I mean, it's great. And around your party, they can't win without those votes. If you make it so only citizens can vote, they can't. They've said it. They've come out and actually said it because they're too stupid to listen to what they're saying. Even your donors are nervous. The Democrat National Committee has had a no good, very bad year. Right? It doesn't bode well for them. Republicans right now, their RNC has no debt. They've got $160+ million sitting in their bank. The Democrats are at $20 million in debt, and they got $20 million sitting in their coffers, give or take a few nickels. Right? According to Political, the DNC's embarrassing missteps under Chair Ken Martin, they've got donors gripping and looking for alternatives. One donor, for instance, described the DNC, one of their big donors, as sort of floundering right now, and that might have been the most generous assessment. Right? More than half a dozen of these big name donors and advisors and bundlers, they collect many individual donations, nearly all of whom spoke anonymously. Nobody wants to give the DNC money anymore. Back in a few minutes. A lot to talk about.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order, plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger, so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com, use promo code TREAT at checkout, and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
Right now, you can eliminate odors, mold, mildew, bacteria, and viruses in your home with the Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm uses oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules that seek out and destroy odors. The Thunderstorm doesn't mask or cover up bad smells, it eliminates them, leaving that fresh, clean smell, just like after a thunderstorm. The Thunderstorm is small, plugs right into the wall, and fits in the palm of your hand. Put one in your basement, bedroom, family room, kitchen, or anywhere you want clean, fresh air. It even includes a USB cord for your car or truck. Right now, save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. That's 3 units for under $200, a fraction of the cost compared to other air purifiers. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code USA3 to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Use USA and the number 3. Shipping is free.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-399-4215. 800-399-4215. 800-399-4215. That's 800-399-4215. You've been working hard, doing the right thing and paying your taxes and putting your hard-earned money in the Medicare piggy bank all your life. And now it's time to break the piggy bank and get something back. Medicare. If you didn't know it, Medicare is health insurance for people over 65, and you paid for it with your tax dollars. Medicare plans now have more benefits than ever. That's good news, especially if you're like me and looking forward to paying as little as possible for good health insurance. Call and find out what Medicare plan is best for you. Save your time. It's valuable. We've already done the research for you, and in one quick phone call, you can learn how to get the best Medicare plan designed exactly for you. Hey, it's one of the most important decisions in your life. Let us help you through it. Here's our number. Call 65 Plus Medicare now. 800-778-8214. 800-778-8214. That's 800-778-8214.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
You know this man. Go ahead. Make my day.
We are back at it again. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855. I'll say it. It's in English. 855-REAL-JOE. 855-732-5563. Get involved. Get engaged. Right? Be part of the solution. You got to be part of the solution. You got to know what's going on. Send me an email. Joe@joemessina.com. Joe@joemessina.com. And there is a lot happening. There's a lot. You know it. I know it. We all know it. There's a lot happening around here. A lot needs to be done. And you're gonna have to get not kind of sort of involved. You're gonna have to get extremely involved in this election. They're gonna do everything they can. Look, we just went through a story where the Virginia governor just, after totally ignoring 6,500 people that shouldn't be voting, and adding another 6,600 to the rolls by allowing felons to vote now. They just had another 70 plus thousand people to vote? And who do you think those people are going to vote for since the governor just let them out of jail? What do you think? We need to get smarter. We need to work at this better. There's something drastically wrong with us when we can't make this work. Now, Fetterman did break with the Democrats. Fauci defense, but he says, look, the GOP went too far in pounding on an 85-year-old doctor. No, they didn't. He killed people. He allowed people to die. He knew exactly what he was doing. Now, Fetterman breaks with Democrats. That's the headline. He broke with many Democrats during that heated Senate hearing on COVID-19 by agreeing that Dr. Fauci should face accountability and saying that the lab leak theory deserves serious considerations while also criticizing Republicans over their treatment of Fauci. I don't know how you do both. It's a puzzlement. Now, Fetterman, who sits on the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, he said the lab leak theory, once dismissed by so many on the left as a fringe idea, now appears to be the emerging explanation. Now think about that. He's willing to even consider it. Some of you guys can't stand him, and you hate when I talk positively about him. So, again, he's willing to open his mind and listen and be open to different ideas. Now, Fetterman criticized the GOP questioning of Fauci, though, during the hearing. He didn't like how they went after him and the way they went after him. See, I don't think it's really appropriate to pound an 85-year-old man, right? Just to try. I don't want to humiliate the guy. I want him to go to jail for the people he killed. Fauci appeared under subpoena and repeatedly invoked his Fifth Amendment. So wouldn't you get irritated, Senator Fetterman? He declined to answer questions, right? They got proof. They got it in his own handwriting. He can plead the Fifth. Now, while the Democrats on the Hill more strongly defended Fauci as Republicans questioned his handling of the pandemic, Fetterman, well, he kind of was more reflective about it. As Pennsylvania's lieutenant governor during the pandemic, he said he was in the middle of all of that, trying to find the right balance between protect life and protect the economy. He said, I'm not sure if we got it all right or wrong, but without a doubt, I can continue to question myself. Fetterman's position is tied to his own record as Pennsylvania's lieutenant governor during the pandemic. He firsthand exposure to difficult decisions officials faced while balancing public health concerns and economic impacts. I mean, there's plenty of places, plenty of, I don't want to say places, but there's plenty of states, plenty of cities that did just fine without totally shutting down. Fetterman's political brand in a swing state has increasingly relied on being unpredictable in both directions. He called COVID lab leak theory an emerging, remember in the early days, he wasn't on board with that either. He weighed in on the original debate himself. He noted how politically charged the question had become over time, early on because the right-wing kind of theory, and I thought it seemed to make sense. The lab leak hypothesis, adding, he said it seemed now it's more and more an emerging theory than it would have come from the lab. It's not an emergency theory. It's been proven. His comments came as intelligence agencies continue to examine the origins of COVID-19. So, at the time, the FBI was, basically saying, hey, look, We're not really sure it came out of the lab. You know, chances are it probably didn't. Fetterman's remarks reinforce his image as a Democrat who does not always follow the party line. And the Republicans frequently highlight his breaks from Democrats. He's continuing to work, and they don't put him down for it. They thank him for thinking it through. What's wrong with that? By agreeing with the Republicans on the need for Fauci accountability, giving more consideration to the lab leak theory while criticizing the tone of the hearing, Fetterman's positioned, himself separately from both sides of the debate. His comments added another layer to the ongoing dispute over Fauci's testimony, COVID-19 origins, and how the lawmakers should address pandemic-era decisions. So, again, right, he's taken a viewpoint that's at least an honest one. You can't even get mad at him. Right? I mean, seriously, think about it. Because he doesn't speak the ideological line. I know some of you don't like that I speak positively about this guy, but I don't know why. Anyhow, just again, I'm glad he speaks the way he speaks. I'm glad he does things the way he does things. I don't want him to agree with us all the time. He's a Democrat. He's not supposed to agree with us all the time. He's got a different viewpoint on how things should get done, right? All right. Send me an email, joe@joemessina.com. joe@joemessina.com. We'll talk a little bit more about later on how the Seattle mayor, real little wingnut there, huh? How she has fired a police chief, right? It's just amazing. That was another thing, by the way, I found out today. I know I'm going all over the place. I usually do that when we're on the at the end of the week. But the cosplay, they arrested a bunch of people there, and they freed, however you want to say. I mean, they freed a bunch of these human slaves, sex slaves, right? All the ones that were told, didn't exist. I always loved that too. Yeah, they're making a big deal out of it. There's not as many. And then, you pick up 600 people. That's a lot. Right? These weren't sex workers, so to speak, as we know them or as we perceive them. No, these were sex slaves. They were people sold into human slavery. And where's the outrage? Right? If you really, truly care for the kids, where's the outrage? Anyhow, yeah, I know. Doesn't help. And the Democrat donors, as I started to say, they're terrified about the 2028 election cycle because all the Dems are floundering. They don't want to back the socialists for sure. Right? And the missteps, the dismal handling of the money under their chair, Ken Martin. And they're thinking about David Hogg? Really? And again, nobody wants to give them money. Because Martin's the one overseeing it, number one. So the DNC money at this point. But they worry it's focused on the day after the midterms because the DNC is more of a presidential player. A Democratic bundler said it's beyond embarrassing. It's not going to get better until he's gone. One donor advisor warned that the DNC's failures under Martin mean that the contributions will dry up right after the 2026 midterms. And we need an overhaul, and I think that's what my folks will be in support of. They do need an overhaul, but not just in who's at the top, but what their policies are. You've got people that are longtime Democrats worried about the party. So far in 2026, it says the DNC has exhibited its apparent ineptitude in a variety of ways. For instance, in May, Martin finally released the results of the long-promised 2024 election autopsy, and he commissioned that report, which Martin entrusted to a friend. It came to the DNC in unfinished condition and with so many sourcing problems that Martin himself had to effectively disavow it. Moreover, the DNC finds itself $2 million in debt compared to the RNC, who has $128 million just sitting around. Anyhow, we'll be back with you in a little bit. Brad Dakins joins us when we return.